The first mall in York, Pennsylvania would open in 1968 and was the place to shop in the state's southeastern city until the grand opening of the York Galleria in 1989. The county's first double-level mall was planned to be over 750,000 square feet, with 4 anchors and 150 concourse shops. For 90s teens, the Galleria was the place to be, but in recent years, the mall has begun to struggle, culminating with the owner filing for bankruptcy in 2020. 3 years later, let's see how the Galleria is holding up. Plans for the mall began in 1987, but met with some resistance from locals worried about traffic and building a road over a pond to the property. However, the mall's owner did not allow it to delay the grand opening, stating the construction crews would operate 24 hours a day if needed to meet the October 26th deadline. However, due to a rainy summer, the mall's grand opening was pushed back to November 9th, and after much debates, threatened fines, and date changes, Boscov's and Bonton opened on the original October 26th plan. JCPenney's would open on November 1st with little fanfare, and Sears would open 3 days later, while the mall opened on November 9th. Its grand opening featured a performance by the Central York Marching Band and appearances by the Bernstein Bears, while Debbie Turner, then Miss America, gave a speech and had a signing at the Bonton's opening. However, after a big opening, the mall began to struggle as the country entered an 8-month recession in 1990, and after owing almost $600,000 in back taxes, York Galleria came under new management the following year. Original owner George Zamius remained an investor, while the new owners, a Chicago-based company, set about upping marketing on the mall, which was at 85% occupancy. What is that? The rest of the 90s went without much excitement. In 1995, the owner of Daniel's Jewelers, a store inside the mall, died in a skydiving accident resulting in the closure of his store. Celebrating the book's 40th anniversary, The Cat in the Hat made an appearance at the mall in 1997. That same year, a 78-year-old woman was pinned inside her car after getting in a crash in the Boscov's parking lot. Shoppers rushed to right the flipped car and save the woman before emergency crews could arrive. Normally, I don't go inside the anchor stores, as they sometimes get more iffy on bringing in backpacks and usually look about the same. But the Boscov's at York Galleria is different. It's a neon dream. In fact, this footage is actually from a revisit, as I had no idea this was here until I began researching for the video. This would be the 16th Boscov store and was their largest to that date. Its grand opening featured appearances by Hollywood actresses Dorothy Lamour and Dick Van Dyke Show regular Maury Amsterdam, who helped cut the store's ribbon. NFL wide receiver Greg Garrity would also have a signing at the store at the end of November as a part of a promotional tour for Converse shoes. Another appearance at the mall came in 2001 when Partridge Family star Shirley Jones hosted a series of fashion shows at the mall, titled Fashion and Film, which was sponsored by the AMC television channel.
Get a few on this side. I still got plenty in the pocket. One more there. Come on. Oh yeah, baby. Just gotta keep it riding. That's how you do it, you know? It's just like gambling. Come on, baby. And then just gotta get it like right in that pocket. That's how you do it.
Every mall.
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah,
Well, you're supporting the place. I appreciate it.
yeah, I go.
While every mall has mall walkers, this mall has the next level. Since the mall opened, the Galleria Gallopers formed a non-profit organization with over 600 members to their mall walking group. I could not find anything about them past 2012, but in an article on them it was said they held office hours at a table in the food court Tuesday and Wednesday mornings for anyone who wished to join. For just $1 annual membership, you received a keychain that allowed you discounts at stores in the mall. They would also have special events such as line dancing, as well as off-site trips to events. In 2012, however, the state forced the food court to temporarily shut down due to a rampant cockroach problem. Another incident at the mall occurred in 2010.
An explosion and fire at the York Galleria Mall tonight forces the evacuation. And the mall remains dark at this hour. It is the top story this Thursday night. News 8's Mike Straub is live from the Galleria.
And Mike, this all started with an employee changing a fuse?
That's right, Ron. Around 6:30 tonight, a mall employee was changing a high amp fuse in an electrical room. When that fuse exploded, starting a fire in that room, that employee was severely injured and he's being treated tonight at York Hospital. Multiple fire departments responded here and the fire was controlled and quickly put out. Tonight the power is shut off to the entire inside of the mall and crews have checked out that electrical room. As for the shoppers and store employees inside tonight, well, this turned into one wild evening.
And out of nowhere, the alarms went off, and it was just like insane, and everybody started running out of the mall.
We were joking. We're like, the fire alarm always goes off and no one takes it seriously, and then people are running and closing doors and their gates, and they're like, evacuate. So we just came out, and in the back gate there, it was like a little bit smoky, and it definitely smelled like chemical and like oily. It was like really weird smell.
Fire officials told me you could smell the smoke throughout the entire Galleria Mall, and we heard some stories of some retailers not sure what was going on, grabbing some of their higher end merchandise and running out with it. So a lot of mass confusion. A lot of people coming up to us wondering if we knew what was going on. We also saw shoppers on the other side of the mall. They'd show up wanting to go in, then being told that there had been a fire. As for when the mall will reopen, no word on that tonight, but I can tell you that all the fire officials and personnel have left. As for store employees who did just rush out in that confusion, they were allowed, one person per store allowed back in to go back and get their personal items before they were all able to head home for the night. But still, one man injured tonight in a fire here at the Galleria Mall. Ron and Janelle.
Very good. Thank you, Mike.
In 1999, current owners of the mall, CBL Properties, would purchase the Galleria along with a parcel of land just west, which they built 3 unattached department stores on. But this would be the first and last expansion for the mall, as 5 years later, CBL would try to unsuccessfully sell the property. 1 year later, JCPenney's was the first anchor to leave, but that anchor would later be divided into Gold's Gym, Marshall's, and H&M. In 2018, Bon-Ton Stores announced closure of the entire chain, while Sears announced its closure of the Galleria store 1 week later. While the mall was in dire straits, the owner of Hollywood Casinos announced their intent in opening a small casino on the property, which would be the first casino to ever open inside a mall. After coronavirus delayed the original 2020 opening, the casino would open the following year. Meanwhile, the pandemic would see the mall owners declare Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which allowed them to keep the mall open while they worked to get out of the debt. In 2021, Extra Space Storage filled the former Bon-Ton, making all 4 anchors full again. But is York Galleria back to business as usual? When I returned in late 2023, much was the same as the original footage, with the mall not really thriving, but not quite dead either. CBL has seemed to have gotten back on track, meaning hopefully this beautiful mall will not be going anywhere anytime soon.